California, established in 1915, was a sanctuary for more than 1,500 oppressed Chinese immigrants looking to make a new life in America. This unlikely town and its history has slowly eroded away, but the spirits who protect and cherish it are still very much present.
This was the first town in the United States built by the Chinese, for the Chinese. And these folks didn't like outsiders messing with their business. Illegal gambling, opium dens, and brothels. These were all the reasons why people from the region came to Locke. And behind all of those illegal activities was the Tong, the Chinese mafia. You either stood with them or you were against them. And if you were against them, it could cost you your life.
To take a bunch of pictures and video. There is, when we go over to the second building that we go over to, gentlemen, I believe that there are a lot of females there, and female spirits like to interact with the males. So I recommend interacting, engaging, asking questions, because I've caught multiple females speaking there, but then when I ask them to do stuff for me, they're like, yeah, whatever. You're just a girl, I don't want to deal with you. And vice versa, if you go over to the gambling hall, which is the third building we'll be going into, lots of men in there, and in the downstairs part particularly, the ladies were mostly upstairs, which was believed to be an opium den at one point. So ladies, talk. Hey, are you here? You know, come talk to me, and see if they'll interact with you. Hey, can you touch this pod for me? Or can you do this for me? Or can you light this up? And you'll find that I always find that male spirits like to interact with the females more often, and female spirits like to interact with males. So try to engage more. In this building, it's kind of both. We'll see how the screen light is solid right now? All of a sudden, sometimes it'll just start flashing. And that's not supposed to do that. So there's different kinds of things that will happen that you can kind of assess for yourself. Okay, is there a natural explanation for this? Or is it something else that's happening right now? And just be open to the possibilities, right? It's great to be skeptical. It's always great to find out, okay, what could cause that? Why would this happen? But at the same time, have an open mind to accept the information that you receive, especially on these types of tours. Al the Watts is the restaurant and bar. It was only open for takeout for a good portion up until recently, until they had the clearance to open. And I believe that a lot of the energy in the gambling hall and stuff comes from what's going on in those places. No, that's theirs. So what's going on?
A couple of hand sanitizers, one in the bag, I guess there's one here.
Yeah, and one here, and there's two here. And then we have the SLS. Have you guys seen the SLS machines on like ghost hunting shows and stuff like that? So the SLS is this device right here that he's going to be starting up. Now this is, SLS stands for Structured Light Sensor, and it's really actually, it's actually cool because what it is, it's an Xbox Connect. And then what happens is, so when you played Xbox, right, or like the Wii, think about like when the Wii came out, it had this sensor that would understand if you were doing the movement. So if you're bowling, or you're playing tennis, or baseball, or whatever you're doing, it understood that you were moving, so it would repeat that explain that information to the computer, to the game, so it knew if it could give you credit or not for doing it right. So somebody took that technology, and they took the Kinect, which is the same concept as what the Wii is, and they put it to software, and instead of it going to a video game, it goes to a tablet. So what that does is if there is an interruption in the structured light field, it maps it out like a stick figure. So if I point it to you, it's going to show you on the screen. So if I say, hey, wave at me, right? You're going to see a little stick figure waving. But if all of a sudden you're standing in the corner by yourself and I'm pointing it at you and there's another figure that comes up, what's interrupting that light field? And that makes the SLS one of the better forms of being able to accrue evidence and to be able to present that evidence. So when you get those little stick figures, unless there is a human-shaped mannequin standing next to you, there's no reason why it should map out a person, okay? The other thing that you want to do is if you get a person, talk to it. So you're looking at a stick figure, hey, how's it going? I see you, thank you, can you wave at me? If it waves at you, then you're dealing with something that's intelligent. You're responding and interacting with something that's intelligent. And so what he'll do sometimes, if I feel like it's a masculine spirit, and when you do this for a long time, you just start to, it's just like anything, right? If you have your job, you know how to do your job, you know when things are going to go well, you know when things are not going to go well. You just get this kind of sixth sense about it. So when you do this after a while, you can tell this is a female, it's angry, or it's not angry, or you can tell it's a male, it's just interested that we're here. So if I sense it's a male, I'll give him the SLS, and he'll say, okay, walk over to it, and he'll align me into the screen. Okay, can you touch my hand? Okay, and then it reaches out to you. Can you give me a high five? It reaches out to you. And I don't know if it's just my mind, but sometimes I feel like I can feel like a sensation. So if you are lucky enough to have that experience, really pay attention to what it really is feeling like. Put aside all of the thoughts and your logic and everything else. Am I really feeling something on my hand, or it's touching my leg right now? We were in Virginia City, and we were at the Mackey Mansion, and remember there was a child-sized stick figure. So I just started talking to it. Oh, hey, come over here. Can you come see me? Here, do you want a hug? And it literally climbed up me and was embracing me. But then I started to feel sick, and I was like, okay, you need to stop. Okay, get down, I need to go, and I have to leave. And sometimes that can happen, and it doesn't mean it's trying to get you sick or that it's malicious in any way. It's just, it's a different energy field than your own energy field, light energy, and
I believe it's drawing your energy.
and it could be drawing your energy, right, in order to manifest.
It can also drain equipment, batteries, your phone.
Absolutely. And that's another thing to pay attention to, is your battery getting drained really quickly. That's another sign. So, but this is a millimeter. So the gentleman who invented it, his daughter passed away. Something's going on. This one's going on. So his daughter had passed away, and he wanted a way to communicate with her. So he invented it. Her name was Melissa. So it's a millimeter. And so it's become sophisticated as it has now become a REM pod, so it'll also light up like it's doing right now. But the thing about the millimeter, I'm going to pick up on that, it's not going to do copy. Okay, stop. It has the backlight, it has a EMF sensor, as well as it does the temperature. So this is again one of those devices where you can say, okay, can you come up? Okay, I see it spiking. All right, can you change the temperature? Can you do this? Can you do that? Okay, so that's the millimeter. This one in particular is the siren one, so if you don't mind it going off every time you're moving around and doing stuff, then it's great. If you can just kind of set it out and let it be manipulated on its own, it works a little bit better. These are cool. You guys will walk around with these. These are also EMF detectors that will light up and siren. So if you're kind of walking around, you might be able to find something. If you find something, right, so all of a sudden starts to light up, you want to verify, is it lighting up because there's something there, or is there something that's setting it off? So pay attention to if there's any exposed wires, which I don't think there are in any of these buildings. But there could be some kind of a light source. You look for a socket or something that could be possibly causing it to continue to go off. But if you go like this and it goes off, and then you pull it back, okay, and then you go back, it goes off again, you pull it back. You go back and it doesn't go off, then chances are you've had something. Okay, so that's just ways to kind of figure out, am I setting it off? Is something natural setting it off? Or is there really something there? I don't know if that's me, it could be. Let's see what else we have here. These are vibration balls. These are so cool. So these are simple. You guys can get these on Chewy.com. Super cheap, right? Or like any, like eBay.
It's cheaper on Chewy.
It is cheaper on Chewy.
People selling them on eBay with those kind of equipment.
But they're actually cat toys. So what happens is they have these like their little hexagons all over, right? So when it sits still, like nothing disturbs it. But if there's vibration, it's easy for something to move it, right? So if you're going out ghost hunting, sometimes you want to bring things with you that are not necessarily like expensive equipment and stuff, but like something that's lightweight, a cigarette. Cigarette is a do not smoke. A cigarette is a light. Good trigger object, especially if you're going into places in like gold country where people smoke all the time, Wild West days, right? So that not only will attract them, but it's something easy for them to manipulate, and you can catch them moving it. That's the same kind of thing with these balls. They're easy to manipulate, and that way, as soon as there's any kind of movement or vibration, it'll go off. We stayed in a place that hasn't been known to be haunted, but I figured it was. It's been in operation since the 1800s, so we stayed the night there. And I set up a couple of these, and along with our equipment, we had a ton of activity. I'm tired, I want to go to bed. So I left out the vibration balls by mistake. And I was falling asleep, and sure enough, as soon as I fall asleep, they started to play with the balls. So all of a sudden, you're getting these disco lights lighting up the whole room, like 3 or 4 different times. And of course, it happens, it jars you, you freak out, you know, your heart's beating a million miles a minute. Our son was with us, 18 years old. Mom, yeah, it's lighting up again. Yeah, I know, I can see it, honey, thank you. Like, do you want to turn it off? No, it's fine. Okay. And then, like, when we were in Mackey Mansion, we had the REM pods as we're trying to go to sleep. Because we did it overnight. You could do overnights in Mackey Mansion. If you guys ever get a chance, Virginia City.
$100?
It's $400, but you can have a maximum of 8 people, I think she said. So split the cost. It's awesome. Way more active than the Washoe Club, and a nicer place to sleep. And she makes you coffee in the morning. So think about, put that on your list, right? Virginia City. If you want to be scared out of your mind and really question yourself and everything that you've ever believed, go to the Miners Cabin.
That's probably the most haunted place.
I think so too. The most terrifying place.
You got something there?
I have the portal spirit box here.
It's right in here.
Yeah.
See, it's crawling on top of the desk.
Second desk or something.
Is this yours still?
It'd be nice if you could pick up something too. We're both picking up. It'd be a good thing to approve. Definitely audio, right?
People wandering.
They're trying to sit down. I mean, what?
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to sit down.
What's your buddy's name?
Ryan.
Are you picking up something?
No.
Got something right here at the second desk. Oh, it's back up in there. Should, right? It's not going now. Something's right here, right? Something.
We immediately go to the Tong building. Once owned and operated by the Tong, we're hoping to dig even deeper. But considering what happened in the casino with Ellen and Jay, we are on very high alert. Devin, who works with Ellen, has also been attacked. He believes that the Tong are responsible.
This is the Tong building.
This is the Tongue building.
I want you to tell me exactly what happened, word for word, exact details of this attack.
We started asking about the tongue. The tongue. The tongue. The tongue.
We usually can pinpoint the sources of paranormal disturbances, but here in Locke, every instance is bewildering.
Go ahead and speak into the mic. We will hear you.
The big guy's back and he's over there.
The big guy's back here?
Yeah. He's reaching out to the guy on the table.
It was sexy in your presence. We can see you in the camera.
Big
You'd
guy,
like to say something, you can say something.
big guy just disappeared. Still something on the table. Big guy's back. On the wall. You see this thing right here?
Mm-hmm.
So that will be up there. Where that gown is, basically. Almost like they're in that gown, trying it on or something. His legs are long enough to touch the floor.
And I know the doors open and the keys in here, but that thing's moving around freaking out.
Yeah, there's somebody floating around in that thing, the big figure. Distinct torso, legs, arms.
Oh, those are long legs.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I'll send you what I have.
There's something on this table.
Oh, you could stand on it. Oh, okay. Oh, no, that's not. Oh, okay. Good. Oh, laying down on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, last time I was here back in September, we had the same thing.
We are standing in front of one of several buildings that we're going to be investigating, the Dai Loi gambling house. This is like, we just went from 2015 to 1920s.
Is there one or two ladies here? Or how about Madam Grace White? I had a spirit tell me that name, and I talked to the historian that knows this area. She said there was a Madam Grace Melbourne, but she lived in a white house at the end of the street, so they might have called her that. The Chinese had trouble, with the English, and even Locke they pronounced Loki. So you might hear Loki in there. Ooh. Okay, much video. So you said $4 for a lady? How about $3? What do you want? Yeah. I'm gonna be in trouble? What's going on? What are the ladies offering to do? You should speak a little bit clearer. ¿Algunas putas aquí? How many whores are here? How many whores are working tonight? Some people think when you take pictures with UV or infrared light that you see spirits better. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if you dislike the mask that they're wearing. It might be scary. Do you know why they're wearing masks? What's the reason? Do you know? We're all aware. You heard that, right? Yeah. So what's the reason? Do you like Trump or Biden? Do you spirits like Trump or Biden? Jerry Ford.
They say Biden, you know that you vote.
I thought I heard Jerry Ford. Is that a president? Jerry.
Gerald.
Oh, Gerald Ford.
Yeah.
Oh, he might have been by Jerry, yeah. Huh. What time period would that be? I don't even know.
Well, that was the 70s.
Oh, shit.
Because he's the one that was.
Maybe they're from the 70s.
By Squeaky.
Yeah, I think she
Yeah,
was president when I was born. Right?
Were you alive during the
72.
70s, Spirit? That's cool. Did you get that on video?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, send that to me if you don't mind. So, is that you, Frosty?
Nope.
Oh, sorry.
Do you have our IDs on you?
Cherie does.
Cherie does.
Yeah.
Came the wrong way. Thank you.
Are you taking off?
Probably.
Oh, did you hear that? It's a demon. What about demon? I don't think a demon's winning as president. They might be saying that because the house I'm going to. Where's the demon? Ghost Adventures thinks there's a demon here. I don't. Well, there was one house he went in. They were pretty nasty in that house. We only went one time. They were. There was a couple that was there on the tour, a very small group, and they were wanting the wife to die. They wanted the husband sexually, wanted him. And they were talking about the Nephilim. Although I think the lady who locks up might have brought up the Nephilim, but they were talking about it. How many spirits are here right now? You're awfully quiet. I wish you would like touch somebody besides me, or knock, or I don't know. Can you hum? Sing? Not hearing any opera music. That's so strange. That's very strange. I usually get that. No opera singer?
Okay, so I'm here with my brother Robert, and he participated with me in the Paranormal Tour yesterday. And what's your thoughts of how things went yesterday?
It's something I've always wanted to do, of course. You know, it's a little intimidating, scary, especially as a religious person, as a Christian. You know, you get worried if you know, things like that could get attached to you, of course. But it's still very interesting because I don't know. Definitely know there's a God, and then after last night, I mean, of course, maybe with the world, you know, there's definitely a devil. I'm one of the people who think ghosts are not godly, of course, and just doing the tour last night kind of just shed some light on all that. Like, just there's no doubt, you know, there are things you just can't explain, and I would highly recommend doing one of the tours. It's exciting, it's fun, just something, you know, if you're interested in doing or ever thought about doing it, I would recommend it. Of course, pray before and afterwards, but I think it's just a very, very interesting thing, and had a pleasure doing it, and look forward to hopefully doing another one someday. So.
What was it
My
like
thoughts.
using the SLS camera? What's your thoughts on that versus the other gadgets and stuff?
SLS to me, I think, is definitive proof, you know, that there's things there. Like I said, just doing it in person is just something, again, you just, unfortunately, kind of thing, you know, see to believe. I mean, I've always believed there's something, but just seeing that firsthand, something was there. You know, we saw multiple stick figure things on the SLS camera, and I think that's definitely the instrument to prove anything, in my opinion. Yeah, there was, especially one of the videos last night, I was with the camera and they're at the table, and I think one of the EMF detectors go off, so I thought that was just validation right there of that the SLS camera is legit.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for your time.